Hi, my name is Emily, and welcome to my gap year travel journal, in which I try different styles of living. Whether it's work, location, hobby, socialization, I want to try it all out until I curate my rhythm and my lifestyle. Hello everybody, welcome to the final vlog in my entire series of solo traveling over my gap year. I believe this is the 7th episode and it's ending in Osaka, Japan. And previously I've been to Japan with my family for a week stint, but it was quite hectic and we were shuttling from like big cities like Tokyo and then also Kyoto. And I feel like I didn't really get to slow down, so this is like my longest stay in my entire solo travel journey. And I think I'm gonna be here for around 4 days. And the hotel was really beautiful and I loved all the amenities that they had. Like, nothing makes me feel more comforted than seeing a fully stocked kitchen and also washing machine, even if I'm not going to use it. But I arrived and it was raining and I went straight to the McDonald's because, well, actually I was going to try a restaurant first for okonomiyaki. But then I was a dumbo and didn't convert any of my stuff to cash yen, and I didn't realize that they didn't take a lot of cards at some restaurants, so I ended up at McDonald's and I got their special chicken promotion thing, and honestly it was a little bit mid. It was like very sweet and odd, yeah, so I was not a fan. I still ate it because I hate food waste, but I went to the convenience store afterwards and I was feeling a little bit sickish in the throat, so I got a vitamin C apple juice. I would drink that like any day, even if I'm not feeling ill. I got these chestnuts and also some instant food like these little sardine fishes and a tofu pea carrot blend that honestly looked like dog food, some pickled cucumbers, and then I also topped that off with some store-bought sushi, which was really good. The cucumbers were mid, but yeah, you'll see over the course of my trip that I eat like pretty constantly, and I think that's like one of the ways that I self-regulated while solo traveling was just like I was never in a foul mood because whenever I got a little hungry I would just pick something up and it was so convenient. But the next day, the first thing I did was just to convert some money to actual yen that I could use in smaller restaurants. And then I hit up a cafe that I found on Google Maps. It was really quiet. I think I was like the only customer in there for some time. Someone like about an hour in came in for some kind of cake pickup, but I just ordered a cup of coffee and sat and read some of Dostoevsky. I was still reading Notes from the Underground. And I loved that peaceful start to my day. After that, I wandered around to like kind of the more thrifty area. By the way, I was living in Nakazakicho, which is kind of like the artsy-fartsy district in Osaka. I chose this based off of like Claude research. I just basically typed in like, oh, I'm a girl who likes museums and walking around a lot of alleyways and like mom and pop restaurant food stores, and this is where they recommended. And it was really beautiful. I'm so glad that I decided to like stay in one place. And even though like the more popular Nara deer were like only an hour and a half transit, I think, from where I was staying, I elected to just kind of explore the area at more of a leisurely pace. Anyways, I went to the castle that was nearby, and they had this like interesting time capsule that reminded me of one of my like core memory romance TV shows that I watched over COVID, which was First Love. I highly recommend it to anybody that wants to cry during a TV show because Hikaru Utada's like First Love is just amazing and it makes so much more sense after watching that TV show. But I walked around the castle. I didn't go up to the actual like observation area because the line was very off-putting to me, but there was a beautiful like cherry blossom grove that I walked through, and there were people having like picnics and just sitting around, and I observed some crows on a tree. this particular area was so wonderful to me because there were just so many cafes to try, so many bakeries in my vicinity, and I felt like another thing that really struck me about the design of this little city was, first of all, like how bike and walk friendly the alleys were. They were like not wide enough for any automobiles to be getting through. So I just saw so many young families, like people with these bikes that had seats for like two or three kids. I saw a woman biking with like two kids on the back and then one kid strapped to her front, just like through the alleyways. And it was really beautiful. I saw like people dropping their kids off at daycare that was just around the corner from where they lived, and then like sitting for a cup of coffee before going off to work or something like that. And I thought, like, I did some research later on into the actual like history of how Nakazakicho came to look like this, and apparently it was like the design of the alleyways was so wonk and hard to develop that developers just didn't even try. So it was like a forgotten and neglected area for a while. And then apparently this like very eccentric artist came and started a cafe there that I actually go to later on in my stay here. And he had like aura to him, so he got a bunch of his artist friends to come visit him, and they started like settling in the area and making it all like artsy and hippie, and so that's how these kind of boutique shops came to stay. So I thought that was like a very beautiful part of the history. Also, the woman at the bakery that was just pictured was like the most lovely and cheerful shopkeeper ever, and I really loved how like the tiny little cubicle scones that she was baking, they were like still browning in the mini oven that was on the table, and it was just, the display was just one long table of all of her bakes for the day. And like we definitely were not communicating, but like she just kept making enthusiastic sounds and I reciprocated in enthusiastic sounds, and it was really lovely. But after I got the bread, I stopped at this cafe and read a little bit more. I just had like a drip coffee, and the owner was kind enough to let me take a look around the artist studio that was in the same room, even though they weren't open yet. And then afterwards I came back and I did my laundry. There's not really much to say about this other than that I loved all the hooks that they had, and it's super energy efficient to wash your clothes and let them air dry. But I also wanted to take this time to talk about some of like the vloggers that influenced me into wanting to vlog like my travel. And one of the most consistent vloggers I've watched has been Iro. It's like spelled I-R-O, and I love how she drinks so much coffee and like is so deliberate with her lifestyle. And I later learned that she was also inspired by another vlogger that I watched. She's like a Chinese vlogger. I believe she lives somewhere in like New Zealand now, but her name is Zishi Dongui, and like the way that she loves cooking and things like that is also really inspiring to me. The last person that I'll talk about is like a more recent video essayist, and her name is Mina Montaigne, and I found her because I think she talks a lot about like philosophy books. I recently watched her video on Byung-Chul Han, and yes, I highly recommend checking out those vloggers. And I feel like the way that they make videos is just really, like, I can see them enjoying the process, and it doesn't feel like they're trying to display their lifestyles in any kind of flashy or like performative way, but really just like it's a great documenting of different stages of life that they're in. But after I went to this sushi place, and they said that what I really liked eating was saba, but my favorite one was definitely the tamago, which is just like an egg on rice. So I guess I'm having kind of like low budget taste buds. And after I went to this bakery where there was this like old hunched man just in the back touching up all the breads with his hands, I got one thing there, and I also ran into this toothbrush store. Esther, my best friend, will know that I have like a thing for clean teeth, even though I have so many cavities from when I would eat Weathers Originals as a kid. in like middle school, like probably around 10 a day, which is diabolical. But I got some toothbrushes for my friends as souvenirs because I think socks and toothbrushes, like things that are utilitarian like that, make great gifts. And then I just kept exploring around the area. I was really enjoying how I didn't have to like speak a lot. It's strange because like listening to me now, you may think, oh, this girl loves talking so much, like does she ever stay silent? Yes, I do, and that happens when I solo travel, when I don't speak like the native language there, but Osaka still felt so accessible to me, just like walking around and stuff. So it was like a good chance to just enjoy some art. I went to this temporary exhibition. I forget the artist's name, but he did a lot of work on moon and suns, and also a couple still lifes, but I loved this one the most, which was the full moon at night. And then I whipped out those breads that I was like keeping in my pocket. There were two of them. There was the one that I bought earlier at the Hunchbacked Man Bakery, and then the other one that was like more of an upscale bougie bakery. This is like the first one, and it had kind of like a sweet filling, and then this was the potato bread. And I didn't know they would literally have like potato chunks inside of it. I saw this little protest on the street. I was trying to understand like what they were protesting about, but Google Translate was being a little finicky, so I couldn't quite figure it out. And then I went to Dotonbori, which is like the very touristy street, and I got takoyaki, which is like the octopus balls. Yeah, I was really excited for it, and it looked delicious. And it's not like they were stingy at all with how much octopus they put in it, but it was just so much more sweet and like bready than I expected, and I think I needed something savory. So then I went to this hamburger steak place, and oh guys, it was like I think about this meal a lot in my life, like even now, weeks out from being in Osaka. Just something about like the tender hamburger steak, the pasta, the little like cabbage next to it, and then I filmed this guy who was like forming a hamburger patty. I think he like turned his body so that I could film it better, which I really appreciated, but then I felt a little awkward standing there, so I kind of like left. And then I got a little sweet treat after in a convenience store. I like green tea flavored ice cream, but I'm not like a fan of matcha. I just see, I usually don't like people who don't like something just because it's like mainstream and they like are gatekeepers of it, but I think I'm one of those people where it's like I just don't like matcha because I don't think it's worth the hype. But green tea ice cream is, in my opinion, a completely different category. And I ate that while I was watching Ikaru. It's like a very long and old Japanese movie that's black and white, but it's about like a public office worker, like public works department, bureaucratic guy who finds out he has like stomach cancer and only has like a couple months to live, and so he just sets out on a journey to discover what the meaning of his life is. And I really enjoyed that film, and I highly recommend watching it. I think something that really struck me was how long each scene was. Like they wouldn't cut super rapidly as if they were like testing my attention span, but I think it made the film feel so much more natural because you can actually see like the emotions running across someone's face and like morphing as thoughts occur to them, as feelings settle into them a little bit more. So I thought it was really great. This is the Artist Cafe. I found this corner that was like facing the kitchen. I got this sweet potato pumpkin cake that was quite firm, but I definitely want to try baking this soon when I'm back. All I've been baking these days has been this like plum and triple berry crumble, because my mom has this plum tree out back that has been popping off and producing so many plums, and I've been trying to bake them all, and she's been making a lot of jam. We're just trying not to let it go bad, but I will be making that sweet potato pumpkin tart eventually. And then I went to this udon place again, guys. It was hit or miss. Like I think a lot of the really popular Japanese foods like udon, okonomiyaki, which was like the cabbage thing that I had earlier, and the takoyaki, they just did not live up to the hype in my head, whereas some other foods, like even the mochi was not that good to me, to be honest. Like the best things I had, hands down, were the hamburger steak and then also the almond rice that I had at that diner. So I'm thinking like I am just more of a diner kind of person. I need some good like savory punch in there. But yeah, I was a frequenter of convenience stores. Family Mart was my favorite because they had really good crunchy apples next to where I was. And I also got tempura squash and okra and more store-bought hamburger steak. I was fiending. It's probably the hardest thing traveling alone for me was that I wanted to try everything, but I knew I couldn't eat everything because I just like did not have the stomach for it. So yeah, you would see me eating like 6 times throughout the day, just like little snatches trying to get everything on my palate. And then this was the day that I was leaving, so I stopped and got some scones at that bakery from that really cheerful woman, and I was bringing that over to China for my relatives that I would be seeing shortly. And then I just took one last longing look at the beautiful neighborhood that I got to stay in. I guess now is an okay time to reflect a little bit on what this solo travel meant to me. I feel much more resolved and like collected to head into my master's year, my final year of education, and I feel like I have a pretty good idea of what's going to continue resonating with me and what I want to work in. So I think spending time in different cities has been super inspiring to me. Thank you for following my journey.